Zaplop is a blob of glop you can mold or pull apart or roll into a ball and throw. Whatever you throw it against, Zaplop peels right off.
Zaplop, Zaplop.
Zaplop is silly. Zaplop is crazy. Zaplop is zaploppy.
Zaplop, Zaplop. Zaplop, Zaplop. Zaplop, Zaplop.
Zaplop comes complete with 2 Zaplop blobs and a self-adhering target.
Disneyland presents an exciting new attraction, America Sings. A fun-loving look at our musical heritage.
Here tell ladies sing your song.
Doo-dah. Oh, I went down south for to see myself singing Hollywood Doodle all day. Gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside.
It's all just part of the dazzling new entertainment and fun for your entire family this summer at Disneyland.
We're getting clobbered. We need help. Sonny, see what you can do. Then we'll have some munchy, crunchy, chocolatey Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs? Yahoo! I'm Cocoa Puffs! Cocoa Puffs! How are we doing?
You scored, Sonny. Now it's time out for breakfast.
Juice, toast, milk, and munchy, crunchy, chocolatey Cocoa Puffs! Yahoo!
Down go prices at Goodman's during our big markdown sale. Suits, slacks, sport coats, and combos marked down for fast sale. Hurry to Goodman's for quality men's clothes at pre-inflation prices.
Well, mateys, it's time to stow our gear for another day. But we'll see you all tomorrow at 3 for more fun with Popeye. Stay tuned now for Superman. And don't forget to eat your spinach.
XETV-6. Wishing you a happy 4th.
Olé!
See Neil Salmon's hilarious musical comedy hit, Sweet Charity, at San Diego's Off-Broadway Theater. Phone the box office for reservations, 235-6535.
LA International Airport.
Pretty Susan Ray, special guest star of the Buck Owens Show, is now the special guest star of the Southern California Expo at Del Mar through the 4th of July. Along with singer-comic Glenn Ash, Susan appears at 2 and 8 p.m. on the free grandstand stage. And there's a spectacular free fireworks display following the evening show on the 3rd and 4th. Don't miss these last fun-filled days. The Expo at Del Mar, now.
I wish that I had flown at night.
Why are you standing here, Dennis?
I'm going to help this fella.
He's heard about your help, Dennis.
Every weekday morning at 8 here on 6.
Hello there, this is Bill Bailey for Nurseryland. Inviting all kids ages 7 to 12 years old to enter Nurseryland's coloring contest. And the winners will receive a super 10-speed racing bike and lots of runner-up prizes like honeybee wristwatches, transistor radios, indoor gardens, and more. And every kid who completes his entry will receive a big packet of garden seeds. So get in on the fun. Pick up your entry form at any Nurseryland between now and July 15th. Then complete this coloring picture and return it to your nearest Nurseryland by July 31st. Winners will be announced in the newspaper August the 9th. There's no obligation, no purchase necessary, so you have Mom or Dad drop you by Nurseryland to pick up your official entry blank and win one of the $5,000 worth of prizes.
Nurseryland, nature's partner for every blooming thing.
Got juice, toast, and tricks, but not enough milk.
Huh? What? Disguised like a milkman, I'll get Tricks. Milkman, at your service. How's Tricks?
Great, have some.
Sure. Tricks in raspberry red, lemon yellow, orange.
It's a rabbit! Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. Besides, you belong here.
Well, I'm still close to Tricks.
The Water Weenie is an amazing power tube that expands to full size when you fill it with water. Monster Bubbles and Zillion Bubbles are 2 toys in 1. Dip the Zillion wand in the bubble liquid and make hundreds of sparkling bubbles. Dip the Monster wand and make bubbles up to 6 feet long. Water Weenie is powerful water fun, squirting big blasts of water over 25 feet. Monster Bubbles and Zillion Bubbles, 2 toys in 1, and Water Weenie, sold separately from Wham-O.
Gonna Gonna get a powerful start today. Gonna have some powerful good. Cheerio! Gonna get a powerful good feeling from Cheerio.
Toast, juice, milk, and Cheerios. Powerful good.
Cheerio! Well, there's one thing, baby, that I want you to know. When you're rocking with me, don't rock too slow. Move on and get toe-to-toe. We're gonna rock till we can't rock no more. I believe, yeah, believe, pretty baby. Believe you're gonna steady with nobody else but me. Well, let's dig it now.
Singing and strumming by Rick. But there's so much more. The adventures of the entire Nelson family. Weekday mornings, 8:30 on 6.
There's an adventure in every bowl of alphabets.
True. While eating alphabets, a fierce lion attacked me, so I ate him. Then a terrible giant tried to scare me, so I ate him. Then a huge octopus tried to squeeze me. Oh boy, if I could spell octopus, I'd eat it too, but I can't spell octopus.
So have a good breakfast featuring post-alphabet cereal.
How do you spell octopus?
There's an adventure in every bowl of alphabets.
LA International Airport.
Pretty Susan Ray, special guest star of the Buck Owens Show, is now the special guest star of the Southern California Expo at Del Mar through the 4th of July. Along with singer-comic Glenn Ash, Susan appears at 2 and 8 p.m. on the free grandstand stage. And there's a spectacular free fireworks display following the evening show on the 3rd and 4th. Don't miss these last fun-filled days. The Expo at Del Mar, now.
I wish that I had flown at night.
Now, there's something else to watch on Saturday night, Sports Saturday 6, the new 4.5-hour sports block on XETV-6. Here's the lineup. 6:30, NFL Championship Games. 7, Celebrity Tennis. 7:30, Boxing from the Olympic. 8:30, Championship Wrestling. 9:30, Roller Game of the Week. And 10:30, Celebrity Bowling. Yes, now there's something else to watch on Saturday nights, Sports Saturday 6.
XETV-6.
For the time of your life, Saturdays.
I'm Joseph Benty in the Channel 2 newsroom with a special late report on the American military action in Southeast Asia to try to win the release of the freighter Mayaguez and its 39 crew members, seized on Monday by a Cambodian gunship. A force of American Marines at this moment are reported to be fighting on the island of Koh Tang, some 30 miles off the coast of Cambodia, where the freighter had been held. The Marines, described as a force of a couple of hundred, got the freighter but none of the crewmen. The Marines then stormed the island, where it is said they have met stiff resistance. And from what we can tell, the crew has not yet been found, and there are indications that the current American military action involves more than just the ship and the island, but the Pentagon is not elaborating on that. The attack came as Cambodia broadcast an offer to release the ship, but the United States responded quickly by saying that it will end the military action as soon as the ship and the crew members are released immediately and unconditionally. We'll have complete details on this story tonight at 11.
Substituting for Walter Cronkite.
I'm David Dow, CBS News, Los Angeles. The United States has launched a military effort aimed at recovering the American merchant ship Mayaguez and its 39 crewmen seized Monday by the Cambodian Khmer Rouge. The action came after President Ford met with the National Security Council for the 3rd time in 2 days and was revealed to reporters tonight at the White House and Pentagon. Ike Pappas filed this report minutes after the announcement.
American Marines from bases in Thailand and from bases in Thailand tonight landed on the Cambodian island of Koh Tang and on the seized American merchant vessel Mayaguez. Pentagon sources said when the Marines got to the ship, no one was aboard. It was thoroughly searched and the crewmen were not on it. There is no word yet on what might have happened to those crewmen. However, the sources said that Marines on the island were meeting some opposition from Khmer Rouge communist troops. At first they said there was plenty of opposition, but then they changed that. From what they're saying, however, it is clear that fighting is going on between United States Marines and communist troops on that island. And this message was just released here at the Pentagon, and it says, to the Cambodian authorities from the United States government, we have heard radio broadcasts that you are prepared to release the SS Mayaguez. We welcome this development if true. As you know, we have seized the ship. As soon as you issue a statement that you are prepared to release the crew members unconditionally and immediately, we will promptly release and cease military operations. Ike Pappas, CBS News at the Pentagon.
As Pappas indicated, the announcement of the U.S. military action came minutes after a broadcast was monitored in Washington from Phnom Penh radio. The broadcast said the ship would be released, but did not say when, nor apparently whether the 39 Mayaguez crewmen would also be released. The president's decision to attack came about an hour after he briefed congressional leaders on the situation. At that time, he pledged he would live up to legislative strictures, that he would inform Congress in writing before he launched the operation. White House Press Secretary Nesson was vague about the effort to communicate with Cambodia on its offer to give up the ship, and administration officials said it was not known if the route by which the message was sent is, as they put it, sufficiently fast. Therefore, they said, we believe the news channels may be the fastest way to reach the Cambodians. So far, there has been no reaction from Cambodia to the White House communique. And there was no indication whether U.S. Marines might also be prepared to land on the Cambodian mainland. A total of 1,200 Marines had been sent to Thailand yesterday in preparation for a possible military action. The Marine action tonight followed an earlier skirmish in which American warplanes sank 3 Cambodian gunboats in the vicinity of the Mayaguez. That action came as the Cambodian Navy was apparently trying to transfer the crewmen of the captured ship to Koh Tang Island or to the Cambodian mainland. A Pentagon spokesman said that the Cambodians had been given warnings against trying to remove the Mayaguez crew before the attacks took place. Sources said the 3 Cambodian gunboats were hit with fire from a heavily armed, propeller-driven gunship and A-7 attack bombers which had been patrolling the area. Following that earlier action, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee voted unanimously to support President Ford's efforts to bring about the release of the ship and the crew, and many, but not all, members of Congress applauded the use of military force. Here is reaction taped before tonight's announcement.
The act of the Cambodians was unspeakable. It was rubbing our noses in a great national disaster. If a great power allows its vessels to be tampered with on the high seas, well, it's inviting every third-rate dictatorship in the world to do it.
My reaction was positive. I have always felt that naturally it's best to get something back that is yours by diplomacy if you can, but if you can't, then you have to use what other means are necessary.
He's done it now, and I hope that he did not take action which resulted in the loss of American life.
I support the president completely. I think that he had to move quickly and resolutely, because the longer the situation deteriorated, I think the more difficult it would have been for us to retrieve the crew or the ship. My first impression is that he did do what the Constitution calls for a commander-in-chief to do.
The military action came too fast. I think we should have waited another 2 or 3 days to see what happened on the diplomatic front. We don't have to prove that we're militarily stronger than Cambodia. Everyone knows that.
To summarize, U.S. Marines have seized the American merchant ship Mayaguez, which was captured Monday by the Cambodian Khmer Rouge. The ship was reportedly empty of either Americans or Cambodians, and there's no word on the fate of the ship's 39 crewmen. Meanwhile, about 200 Marines have fought their way onto a nearby Cambodian island and met some opposition. There was no immediate report of casualties.
Ability on The Price is Right tonight at 7:30. Good morning. This is the KNBC News Service sign-off edition for Thursday, May the 15th. In the news this morning, the Cambodian government surrenders the U.S. merchant ship it had captured, together with all its crew. A massive jailbreak in Chicago, and Ray Duncan introduces the 30-passenger Volkswagen. Now the details. After a tense and uncertain day of troop landings and other military operations, Cambodia surrendered the 39 American crewmen of the freighter Mayaguez after U.S. Marines captured the ship itself. President Ford went on the air a few hours ago with this statement.
At my direction, United States forces tonight boarded the American merchant ship SS Mayaguez and landed at the island of Koh Tang for the purpose of rescuing the crew and the ship which had been illegally seized by Cambodian forces. They also conducted supporting strikes against nearby military operations or military installations. I have now received information that the vessel has been recovered intact and the entire crew has been rescued. The forces that have successfully accomplished this mission are still under hostile fire, but are preparing to disengage. I wish to express my deep appreciation and that of the entire nation to the units and the men who participated in these operations for their valor and for their sacrifice.
U.S. Marines who boarded the ship found it deserted, while other Marines who stormed the nearby island ran into heavy opposition. As the island assault went on and American bombers attacked mainland installations, a Cambodian ship flying a white flag drew up alongside the American destroyer Wilson and surrendered 30 of the American freighter's crew. There's still no word on where the rest of the crew were at the time or when they were surrendered. In fact, there's been a late change on the number of crew members. White House Press Secretary Ron Nessen now says that 40 Americans were returned, along with 5 persons from Thailand. Following President Ford's announcement, Defense Secretary James Schlesinger told reporters that some Americans were killed in the operation. He did not give any exact figures on either the dead or wounded. There was an earlier report that 2 U.S. helicopters were destroyed during the mission. Many of the relatives of the crewmen of the merchant ship have praised the United States for its show of force against the Cambodians. The sister of crewman Robert Friedler of Rochester, New York, said, and these are her words, "I didn't want to see any bombing or bloodshed, but apparently the Cambodians now realize we meant business, that we weren't just messing around."
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, U.S. Marines at Thailand Air Base. No diplomatic options in Mayaguez crisis. Defense spending, Part 3 of a special report. $5,000 fine for Maurice Stan. Arson for profit on the rise. And Eric Severide with a comment on American economic policy and the Third World.
In response to the Cambodian capture of that American merchant ship, more than 1,000 U.S. Marines were airlifted today to Utapao, the U.S. base in Thailand. But the troop movement has created new friction between the Thai and American governments. No sooner had the Marines arrived than Thailand gave them 24 hours to get out of the country. We have reports now from Peter Collins in Thailand and Marvin Kalb in Washington.
The Marines were brought into the big Utapao Air Base aboard Air Force jet transports from Okinawa. There was little for them to do except to wait for orders. The Marines said they were under instructions not to discuss their mission. But their presence on this base is building toward a diplomatic collision between the United States and Thailand. With the collapse of the American position in Indochina, the Thais have been increasingly nervous about having large U.S. forces in their country as they try to patch up relations with the new communist governments in Vietnam and Cambodia. And now, Thailand's Prime Minister, Kukrit Pramot, says he doesn't want to be dragged into a new dispute between the U.S. and Cambodia. The Prime Minister has told the U.S. he will not permit the Marines to use Thailand as a base for any move to free the captured freighter Mayaguez by force. And beyond that, he has ordered the Marines out of the country by Thursday, or Thailand will take, quote, drastic action, unquote. What that action might be is open to speculation, but one option could be simply to close this and the other 3 American bases in Thailand. That would be a heavy blow to the United States, which keeps 25,000 troops and a variety of aircraft on the bases, including B-52 bombers such as this one. If the Thais want to close the bases, they could easily cut off their supplies or even move in military force, although such a step is unlikely. Peter Collins, CBS News at Utapao Air Base, Thailand.
The administration thinks Thailand is unreliable, and it's been in the process of pulling American troops out of the country for the past few months, a process unrelated to the current crisis. The old anti-communist alliance between Bangkok and Washington is dying, as the Thais tried desperately to strike up new friendships with the triumphant communists of Cambodia and Vietnam. In this climate, the U.S. did not feel that it had to inform the Thai government that the Marines were coming, and it did not, thereby further inflaming an already bad situation. Actually, the Marines went to Thailand for only one purpose, as part of the rescue operation of the captured freighter. This episode only underscores the fragility of American diplomacy in Southeast Asia. For example, when the freighter was seized, the U.S. found itself in the awkward position of being forced to turn to China for help. There was no other country the U.S. could turn to. And when, predictably, China turned a cold shoulder towards the U.S., the administration felt it had no alternative but to use military force. Marvin Kalb, CBS News, the White House.
In Laos today, hundreds of anti-American demonstrators in 2 cities raided and looted U.S. government buildings. They took 3 U.S. officials hostage, including the senior U.S. official in central Laos. The trouble occurred in the royal capital of Luang Prabang, where rioting was described as most fierce, and in Savannah Hep, where the Americans were taken hostage. The U.S. Embassy in Vientiane said the Americans have not been harmed. The demonstrators reportedly want all U.S. aid to Laos ended and all Americans expelled. In Washington, a State Department official said a thinning out of Americans in Laos is planned for later this week. For the 3rd straight day, Israeli soldiers crossed the border into Lebanon to search for suspected Arab guerrillas. But today, unlike the other 2 raids, Lebanese gunners fired on the Israelis and reportedly drove them back across the border. There were no reported casualties.
Does it have an L?
There is an L in the 4th position. Guess again.
Does it have an R?
There is no R in the word Angela.
Does it have a J?
No J, 8-letter word that might describe a successful bank job, Sherry.
Does it have a D?
No D in this word, Dana.
Does it have a K?
No K in the word Angela.
Does it have a B?
No B. Again, the clue, an 8-letter word that might describe a successful bank job, Sherry.
Does it have an S?
There is an S in the 5th position. Please guess again.
Does it have a T?
No T in the word Dana.
Does it have an F?
There is an F in the 1st position. Dana?
Fail-safe.
You're right. F-A-I-L-S-A-F-E, an 8-letter word that might describe a successful bank job. Fail-safe, or the safe fails. Fail-safe. All right, $20 at the end of 2 rounds. Dana is in the lead. Angela, Sherry yet to score, but they may do that following these important notices. We'll be back.
Listen to what people are saying about Wilson's $69 to $89 suede and leather sensations.
I just bought this beautiful leather coat and saved at least $50 at Wilson's.
I found the leather jacket I wanted for only $69.
I bought my husband this leather jacket, and he liked it so well that I'm going to buy one after I have the baby.
Convince yourself. See Wilson's $69 to $89 suede and leather now. In Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, Sherman Oaks, Anaheim, Pasadena, Whittier, Costa Mesa, Santa Ana, Torrance, and West Covina.
If you should need cash right now, where would you go? A bank, a savings and loan, a finance company? Many of them aren't even lending these days. But if you're a homeowner and you want that cash now, cash from $1,000 to $10,000 or more, call Capital Home Loan. They'll give you all the help they can to get you the money you need, and they'll do it quickly and quietly. Call Capital now in Los Angeles, 386-1111, or the office nearest you, 386-1111.
If you would like to join us here at KTLA as a contestant, all you have to do is drop a card to us. And you should address it to Studio Contestant, guess word, care of KTLA-TV-5, 5800 Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood 90028. Do that today. It's a lot of fun to be a contestant on this program, aside from the fact that you could win some money, which I'm sure everybody could use. Sherry Newman of Van Nuys, 3rd day as champ, $80 to the good so far for word mates at home and yourself. We mentioned the fact that you are a teacher, and I assume that more things have happened to you and your charges. Anything?
Oh, yes. My students are bringing in students from other classes and saying, this is our teacher, a movie star, and you just have a regular teacher. And they also say that they like me on television because they can turn me off.
Really? That's not nice. They should be very, very proud of you.
They're just kidding.
What about from the other faculty members? Are they a little jealous, a little around the edges? What, are they saying anything to you?
No, they've all been very sweet and say to keep up the good work, which I'm not doing today.
Well, listen, we've got a lot of rounds of this game to play yet. Right. One thing I did want to ask, yesterday I mentioned that I thought it would be a great idea if the students that attend your classes should go without homework for about 6-8 weeks or so, and I wondered if there was any reaction to that.
Yes, I'm very mad at you. They've been bothering me about it all day. I said, well, you know, now we're not having any homework. They think whatever you say, since you're a celebrity, goes, and that's it.
All right, well, I won't do that again. Kids, take 2 weeks off. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get Sherry in any more trouble. Welcome, Dana Gurney of Hollywood. Dana,
thank you.
Good to see you today. You and Ramon Misquez of Los Angeles are hoping you do very well, because that's your word mate at home. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, right at the moment, not right at the moment, but my job earlier today was proofreading for a publishing company in Canoga Park.
Mm-hmm.
They make motorcycle, hobby, and girly magazines.
Mm-hmm.
So since about 7 o'clock this morning, I've been looking at words all day long.
You look at words and you see if they're spelled right and whether the English is constructed properly and all that?
Well, no, I don't see if the English is constructed properly. I'm not allowed to make that type of change.
Mm-hmm.
Consequently, the material is, well, is very poor. Nobody is watching from where I work. Mm-hmm. They don't care. And so I just look for punctuation, well, certain kinds of punctuation, you know, not much.
All right, well, I'm sure working with words is going to be a great aid to you in this game. Already it has paid off $20 worth for you and your word mate. Angela Lasella of Studio City. Good to have you with us. Very attractive lady as well. Are you single, married?
Single.
Single lady. Do you work for a living?
Yes, I work for a certified life insurance company, Larry. I'm a life insurance underwriter.
What does an underwriter do?
Well, we're the ones that decide whether you're an insurable risk or not, and if so, whether you would pay a standard premium or a rated premium.
How do they evaluate television hosts? Are we pretty good risks?
Oh, I think so.
We are,
yeah,
huh?
I think so.
All right. Angela, thank you very much for being with us, and good luck to you and your word mate, Vincent Salinas of Porterville. Dana, Sherry, and Angela, it's time now to play the game again for some dollars. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, Dana, you were the last to give me a correct answer, so that means you begin this round. Listen to the clue, if you will. A 10-letter word that might describe what a martyr does at a picnic. A 10-letter word that might describe what a martyr does at a picnic. Dana.
Does it have a Q?
There is no Q in the word. Angela.
Does it have an A?
There is an A in the 7th position. Please guess again.
Does it have an E?
There happens to be an E in the 5th position. Guess again.
Does it have an I?
There is no I in the word. 10-letter word that might describe what a martyr does at a picnic. Sherry.
Does it have a D?
There is no D in this word. Dana.
Does it have a K?
No K in the word. Angela.
Does it have a T?
No T in the word. A 10-letter word that might describe what a martyr does at a picnic. Sherry.
Does it have an S?
There is an S in the 1st position. Please guess again.
Does it have an L?
There is no L in this word. Dana.
Does it have an M?
There is no M in this word. Angela.
Yeah. Is there an R?
There is an R in the 6th position. Gives you another guess.
Is there another A?
There is no other A in the word. A 10-letter word that might describe what a martyr does at a picnic. Sherry.
Is there a G?
There is no G in the word. Dana.
Is there a C?
There is a C in the 9th position. Please guess again.
Is there an N?
There is an N in the 8th position. Guess again.
There must be an E.
There is an E in the 5th position and one in the 10th position. Gives you another guess.
Is there a P?
There is no P in the word. Angela.
Is there another R?
There is no other R in this word. Listen to the clue, a 10-letter word that might describe what a martyr does at a picnic. Sherry.
Is there a U?
Yes, indeed. In the 2nd position, guess again.
Is there a C?
There is a C in the 9th position, but no other C's. Dana, tell me what you think the word is.
Sufferance?
You're right. Sufferance is the word. S-U-F-F-E-R-A-N-C-E. If you'll listen to the clue again, a 10-letter word that might describe what a martyr does at a picnic. Suffer ants. A-N-T-S, sufferance, suffer ants, huh? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you think you can write better clues and words, just do it and send it to us. You never can tell. We might even use it. All right, Dana, pulling ahead again. Please listen to the clue. You will begin this round. A 7-letter word that might be sized up as a certain kind of guy. A 7-letter word that might be sized up as a certain kind of guy. Begin, Dana.
Does it have an E?
There is an E in the 2nd position. Guess again.
Does it have an R?
There is an R in the 1st position. Guess again.
Does it have an L?
There is an L in the 5th position. Guess again.
Does it have an S?
There is no S in the word. Angela.
Is there an A?
There happens to be an A in the 6th position. Please guess again.
Is there a D?
There is no D in the word. Again, the clue, a 7-letter word that might be sized up as a certain kind of guy, Sherry.
Is there another A?
There is no other A in this word, Dana.
Is there an N?
There is no N in the word, Angela.
Is there a T?
No T in the word. 7-letter word that might be sized up as a certain kind of guy, Sherry.
Is there an M?
M?
Yes.
There is no M in the word, Dana.
Is there a P?
There is no P in this word, Angela.
Is there another E?
There is no other E. Again, the clue, a 7-letter word that might be sized up as a certain kind of guy, Sherry.
Is there a B?
There is no B, Dana.
Is there a Y?
No Y, Angela.
Is there an R?
There is an R in the 7th position. Guess again. Dana.
Regular.
Right. R-E-G-U-L-A-R. He is sharp today. 7-letter word that might be sized up as a certain kind of guy. You've heard the term, a regular guy, or that may even, of course, mean his size. Regular. All right, $40 for Dana. Angela, Sherry falling behind. Listen to the clues very carefully. Dana, an 8-letter word that might apply to a man from Mars or one of your relatives. An 8-letter word that might apply to a man from Mars or one of your relatives. Begin, Dana.
Does it have an S?
Does it have an S? There is no S in the word. Angela.
Does it have an A?
There is an A in the 2nd position. Guess again.
Does it have an E?
There happens to be an E in the 8th position. Guess again.
Does it have a P?
We're going to go to word 6. We're having a bit of a technical difficulty. We will throw that word out, and we will go to another word. All right? Is that all right with you, contestants?
Sure.
All right. All right, I'll tell you what the word is. I suppose you're curious, and I suppose the viewers at home are. An 8-letter word that might apply to a man from Mars or one of your favorite relatives. I am sure, one of your relatives, I'm sure you know the word favorite, F-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. And if you've ever watched television and the very successful show, My Favorite Martian, well, then son of a gun, you know that this word had to be favorite, F-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. All right, let's play for some more money. Are you ready? All right. Hope that didn't throw you off. Dana, listen to the clue. A 10-letter word that might describe the famous King Ranch in Texas, or in Texas, depending on your accent. A 10-letter word that might describe the famous King Ranch in Texas. Begin, Dana.
Does it have an L?
There is no L in the word, Angela.
Does it have an A?
There is an A in the 9th position. Guess again.
Does it have an E?
There is an E in the 4th position. Guess again.
Does it have an R?
There is an R in the 7th position. Please guess again.
Does it have an I?
Yes, indeed, in the 2nd position. Guess again.
Does it have a T?
There is no T in the word. Again, the clue. A 10-letter word that might describe the famous King Ranch in Texas, Sherry.
Does it have an S?
There is an S in the 5th position. Guess again.
Does it have a D?
There is a D in the 3rd position. Guess again.
Does it have another E?
There is another E in the 8th position. Guess again.
Is there a C?
There is no C in the word. Dana.
Is there a G?
No G in the word. Angela.
Is there an H?
There is no H. Again, the clue, a 10-letter word that might describe the famous King Ranch in Texas, Sherry.
Is there an F?
There is no F. Dana.
Is there an N?
No N in the word. Angela.
Is there a W?
Yes, in the 1st position. Guess again. Dana.
Widespread.
Widespread. W-I-D-E-S-P-R-E-A-D. 10-letter word that might describe the famous King Ranch in Texas, which is certainly a wide spread. All right, at the end of 5 rounds, I believe, $50. You've got it all.